Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we are going to compare and contrast a couple of LEGO Creator Expert vehicles, the Ferrari F40 and the Ford Mustang GT. Now you might be thinking to yourself, rightly so, Clever Pig, why are you comparing these two old, outdated, retired and soon to be retired sets? What is the point of that? Well, as I mentioned in a couple of videos, I have put this up on my community tab a while ago and everybody voted the Mustang as the greatest of the Creator Expert vehicles made so far, beating out the Ferrari F40. So we're going to see about that. We're going to take a look. I feel like it would be fun to compare and contrast these, see the different aspects, and just sort of rank it up, and maybe you'll be able to come to an opinion of your own because we all got them. I have my own opinion. I already know where I'm at. I just recently rebuilt the F40, and the Mustang was a new build for me as well. So it's fresh in my mind. I went through everything nice and slow with a critical lens. Hard to do sometimes. But starting off with the elephant in the room, just look at these. I did not remember this. I guess I didn't realize how big. I haven't had the F40 in my life for a while. It was at my childhood home and my mother, bless her, just shipped it over and I rebuilt it, having recently built the Porsche 911 and now this one. And I didn't realize how big these vehicles have gotten. This is quite small compared to Creator Expert vehicles of today, interestingly enough. But don't let the looks fool you, because this is small but mighty. But now that we've pushed the elephant out of the room, let's go through each very quickly and weigh the pros against the cons and see which one comes out on top. Starting off with the F40, I think the box art is rather plain, as you can see over my shoulder, and the instruction booklet is very similar. There's no designer info, there's nothing about the build process, nothing like that. It's just straight in, no frills, no extras. Getting into the build process, it's very Creator Expert vehicles. There's a minimal amount of Technic just to get some strength. This was prior to there being steering involved. So the steering wheel in here does not turn the front wheels. The front wheels do not turn at all, which I suppose you might consider as a negative, but I'm not sure I really care that much. These are for display. I'm not going to be playing with them. I guess it's nice to get a steering angle for display, but at the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal. That said, the rest of this build was absolutely fabulous. Let me go through some of these details. Some of them are incredible. I had mentioned that this was the first set that I built where I really noticed LEGO was stepping up their game with building techniques and getting details in interesting ways. And I was definitely vindicated in that. This is fantastic. Some of the builds are so good. We'll just go through a few of them here. Starting off with the angling on the sides behind the doors and the NACA ducts, that was a fantastic little build. You just bend some stuff in and it connects up nicely, and the lines are seamless. It's really impressive. Moving behind, you start to build the back, which is also really nice. There are a few key details. I'll open this up. Let's actually wheel this around so y'all can see it in all its glory. Look at that. How fantastic is that? So the nice thing that I really liked about this is you build the engine outside of the car and then you drop it in, as you would do. I think that is so cool. And what's more, the engine build includes the exhaust. That is attached directly to the engine, and then you build the bumper around it. It is so good. I absolutely love it. You get the 2.9 liter twin turbo V8, the first production car to pass the 200-mile-an-hour limit. Although I believe it was very quickly dethroned by the Porsche 959 within like a year. Anyway, just building the engine separately and putting it in is just As a big car person, that was absolutely huge for me. I don't know why, I just loved it. Beyond that, getting the whole rear hood section to open like that is really nice as well. Nothing too crazy though, but I will say they've got the louvered rear glass in the back. Fabulous. And there's also some panels that you just clip into place. So good, so satisfying. A next interesting little part of the build, I will say, is the windshield. The way the angle meets up with the roof, and this roof is actually very strong. It's just some Technic L beams, and it's really strong. And look at the window, the way this window meets up. You see this angle, like this is a smooth seam, right? But it's just set there. Look at that. There it is. There just happens to be a little bracket here, and it just sets on there. Oh, that is a money shot. That is so good. Now, let's move to the front where we can talk about the, I don't know, would you call it like a clamshell? I'm not sure. The way the frunk opens, I guess, is amazing. So it's called like a Dodge Viper style hood where it opens from the front. And check this out. You get the whole thing. So amazing. And I mean, there's not even really anything under here. You get a tiny little bit of, like as there would be in the real car, you get a tiny little bit of luggage space, but this is actually such an amazing build for this whole front. It's very thin, very strong, uses a lot of brackets, a lot of snot, and just the way that it opens is so nice. And you get some more ductwork on the top of the hood. Those are really fun to put in as well. You just slide them in and pop them onto a bar. You clip them on. And they managed to sneak in the best feature of all, of course. Pop-up headlamps. Boom. Straight in. There it is. This thing is fabulous. I was so impressed. I thought, going back to this, I mean, when this thing came out, like 2015, 2016 sort of region, I thought, you know, it's been like over half a decade. LEGO stepped up their game. Like this thing's probably might not impress me anymore. I've got rose tinted glasses, but no, it's there and it's awesome. This set definitely lives up to its reputation. Now let's quickly take a look at the 67 Mustang. If you've built any of the creator experts / icons vehicles as of late, you probably pretty much know what's going on. Starting off for the Mustang, I think the box art is amazing. It really suits the dark blue of the car and of the creator expert sort of themed boxes. It's really coherent. It's got like it looks like an LA aqueduct or something like that it's set in. It looks really nice. Similarly, in the manual, you do get bits from the designer. You get about the design process. It's all really nice to see. A bit about the car. The build, if you've done any of the creator experts / LEGO icons vehicles as of late, will be very familiar. You build up the frame with a bit of Technic for some strength. You do the steering that works via the steering wheel. Do up some interior, build up the engine. The engine looks fantastic, I will add. It's excellent. It's got details like the battery with the positive and negative terminals using different colored Technic axles is excellent. It's got the serpentine belt in the front. It's got a fan shroud. It's even got a radiator. It's got a windshield washer fluid compartment. Like, it's so good. It is such a good engine bay. I do wish that it had a little more detail around the actual engine, being that that's such an iconic part of a muscle car. Whereas the Ferrari F40, for example, it had little revolver elements for headers going down to the exhaust. This has nothing like that. I think that would have been really cool to see. But anyways, beyond that, I think the hood is really awesome. It's got a very slight angle down just to give it that proper look, and it's got a scoop, which actually does open down to the hood, which is unnecessary, but good to see. Similarly, the lines are very sleek, as you would come to expect. And the roof is low profile as it can be, which is nice. There's a little trunk for a slight purpose, but one of my annoyances, but we'll get back to that. And around back, it looks like a Mustang. It looks pretty darn good. I like the dual exit exhaust. It looks really nice. The wheels look good on this. It looks really good. Also, all of the striping is printed, which is kind of good and bad. It's good to see it printed, but not all the prints line up, which kind of sucks. this will get into my gripes, because you will see the biggest problem I have with this set and Creator Expert Icon vehicles recently is this. This is what's left over at the end of the build. And you're thinking, that's a lot more than what LEGO usually includes with their sets, and you'd be right. You would be right. And that is because now these Icons vehicles are customizable. And it comes in many different forms. The Porsche 911 you can change into a Targa from the turbo model, which is kind of acceptable for me. Similar to the Corvette that's just came out, you can change it to a convertible. And then there's like the Land Rover Defender. You can put all the extra gear on the roof and stuff like that. The Camaro, you can change the stripes. And this one, you can put like these hot rod mods on it, which they just ain't for me, I'll be honest. I think it makes it look a little cartoony and a little silly. Unless you're changing from a convertible to a hardtop, which shouldn't be that big of an ask in LEGO in my opinion. I don't really like these extra parts too much. It just seems like price inflation, needless price inflation. Like that's probably $10 or $15 worth of parts right there. I would have much rather saved that $10 or $15 and had this. What's wrong with this? That's fine, that's great. I like it a lot. There's nothing wrong with it. It's like the F40. The F40 doesn't come with any customization options, because why would you? It looks great. It's perfect the way it is. Don't mess with it. The designer put a lot of work into this. What are you doing? So in conclusion, I really like the Creator Expert Icons vehicles. I think they're awesome. They always look really, really nice to their source material. But when it comes to these two, I think there's a very good reason why this is the most sought after of the Creator Expert vehicles, and it probably will continue to be. And while I love muscle cars, I do hope to see LEGO do more interesting, different vehicles going forward in that line. I feel like since the F40 was from the 80s and that was several years ago, we're getting to the age where we might be able to start seeing some things from the 90s, which would be awesome because we get some JDM icons, because Japan was absolutely killing it in the 90s. But with that being said, I still love both of these a lot. I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. It was a fun trip down memory lane. And if you made it this far, thank you very much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. And would love to hear your thoughts as well. Chuck them down in the comment section below if you want to chat about either of these or something else unrelated. Tell me about the weather in your neck of the woods. I don't care. Love to hear from you. This will be the last video before Christmas. So Merry Christmas. Have a happy holiday. Hope you enjoy the holiday season with friends, family, or whatever floats your boat. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.